Hello and welcome to the program. Our today's topic is functions of education with respect to individual development, development of basic knowledge, skills, interest and appreciation. The objectives set for the topic are to become familiar with the concept of education, to get acquainted with the role of education, to get acquainted with the functions of education, to become familiar with the concept of individual development, to get an insight into the development of basic knowledge, to get an insight into the development of skills, to get an insight into the development of interest, and to get an insight into the development of appreciation. Education is essential for every society and individual. The one continuing purpose of education since ancient times has been to bring people to as full a realization as possible of what it is to be a human being. Other statements of educational purpose have also been widely accepted: to develop the intellect, to serve social needs, to contribute to the economy, to create an effective workforce, to prepare students for a job or career, to promote a particular social or political system. These purposes offered are limited in the scope, and in some instances they conflict with the broad purpose. The broader humanistic purpose includes all of them and goes beyond them, for it seeks to encompass all the dimensions of human experience. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. But education which stops with efficiency may prove the great menace to society. The most dangerous criminal may be the gifted man with reason but no morals. So intelligence is not enough, but intelligence plus character is the goal of true education. Not only in civilized societies, but even in primitive societies, the adults try to educate adolescents in the way of adult life. Thus, the individual's character, personality, culture, thinking, common sense, skill, habits, and even the other less significant things of life depends upon education. The importance of education in human is life because of the following functions of education: development of natural abilities, control and sublimation of basic instincts, creation of useful citizen, development of sense of community, protection and increase of culture and civilization, national development, use of leisure, and developing an international feeling. Now, let's have a look over the concept of education. Education is an effort of the senior people to transfer their knowledge to the younger members of the society. It is thus an institution which plays a vital role in integrating an individual with his society and in maintaining the perpetuation of culture. Emile Durkheim defines education as the influence exercised by the adult generation upon those who are not yet ready for adult life. Education in the larger sense is an act or experience that has a formative effect on the mind, character or physical ability of an individual. In its technical sense, education is the process by which society deliberately transmits its accumulated knowledge, skills and values from one generation to another. Education may also be defined as a purposive, conscious or unconscious psychological, sociological, scientific and philosophical process which brings about the development of the individual to the fullest extent and also the maximum development of the society in such a way that both enjoy maximum happiness and prosperity. In short, education is a development of individual according to his needs and demands of society, of which he is an integral part. Through education, people gain knowledge and skills, enabling them to become productive members of society. By educating an individual, we attempt to give him some desirable knowledge, understanding, skills, interests, attitudes, and critical thinking. Thus, education is both unilateral as well as bipolar in nature. It is a continuous process, it is knowledge of experience, it is development of particular aspect of human personality or an harmonious integrated growth. It is conducive for the good of the individual or the welfare of the society. It is liberal discipline or a vocational course. It is stabilizer of social order, conservator of culture, and instrument of change and social reconstruction. Now, let us discuss the role of education. The role of education is as following. Education is self-empowerment. It helps us to understand ourselves better. It helps us to realize our potential and qualities as a human being. It helps us to tap into latent talent so that we may be able to sharpen our skills. It gives financial stability and dignity to life, as it helps us to gain sufficient academic qualification so that we are able to get suitable employment at a later stage. It improves position in society. Women were enslaved and looked down upon due to the lack of education. As they become literate, the outlook of society improved. It eliminates superstitions in the people, remove the different evils of the society and develop rational thinking. Education plays a very important role in decision making by gaining feedback from others. Wide exposure enhances the knowledge base of the individual and prepare them to face and challenge of life in a better manner. Now, different functions of education. The education functions refer to those responsibilities of education for which the educative process is carried out. Broadly speaking, education has two primary functions which are mutually dependent. One is cultivation and development of the individuals, and the second is improvement of society. But it is the individual who makes the societies, because society improves with the improvement of the individuals who make up it. Education is always been a very effective change agent in societies, and this change could be social, political, moral, educational leadership change. This change agent is the best source of socialization of youth into the prevailing culture. On one hand, formal schooling seems to integrate individuals into society by institutionalizing values and belief systems, and on the other hand, it provides the individuals competencies needed for the adequate performance of social roles. Main educational function is to culture the mind of a learner so that learner can accomplish all of aims in his or her life, enable individual to use full potential of body, mind and spirit. Thus, the functions of education include ability to convert the young blood of the society into the productive and responsible citizens of the country, creating awareness among the individuals regarding their own self and their surrounding, so that they can be aware of their problems and can formulate ways to improve the standards of living, create jobs, opportunities and employment which improves per capita income of a country, gives strength and self-confidence in the nation by means of using education as an important weapon for achieving competence, to contribute to the development of society by providing skillful individuals to the business and government organizations. Now, let's have a look over the concept of individual development. Individual development is the conscious pursuit of personal growth by expanding self-awareness and knowledge and improving personal skills. It covers abilities that improve awareness and identity, develop talents and potential, build human capital and facilitate employability, enhance the quality of life and contribute to the realization of dreams and aspirations. Personal development takes place over the course of a person's entire life. Not limited to self-help, the concept involves formal and informal activities for developing others in roles such as a teacher, guide, counselor, manager, life coach or mentor. When individual development takes place in the context of institutions, it refers to the methods, programs, tools, techniques and assessment systems that support human development at the individual level in organizations. Individual development may include the following activities: improving self-awareness, improving self-knowledge, improving skills or learning new ones, building or renewing identity, self-esteem, developing strength or talents, improving wealth, identifying or improving potential, building employability or alternatively human capital, enhance lifestyle and or the quality of life, improving health, fulfilling aspirations, initiating a life enterprise, or alternatively personal autonomy, defining and executing individual development plan, improving social abilities. Thus, any sort of development, whether economic, political, biological, organizational or personal, requires a framework if one wishes to know whether a change has actually occurred. In the case of individual development, an individual often functions as a primary judge or improvement of the regression. But validation of objective improvement requires assessment using standard criteria. Personal development frameworks may include goals or benchmarks that define the endpoints, strategies or plans for reaching goals, measurement and assessment of progress, levels of or stages that define milestones along a development path, and a feedback system to provide information on changes. Now let us discuss development of basic knowledge. Knowledge, according to Swami Vivekananda, is to find unity in the midst of diversity, to establish unity among things which appear to be different from one another. Knowledge dispels maya, perception of separateness, avidya, rescience. This is end of knowledge. The problem of knowledge tells us that the necessary and sufficient conditions for knowing something are: first, that what one is said to know the truth; secondly, one should be sure of it; and thirdly, one should have the right to be sure. The man without education fails to contribute to the society. Innate abilities get awakened through education. Proper judgment, understanding and application of acquired knowledge to the practical life is possible only through education. So education strives hard to provide knowledge to those who pursue it. A person who has knowledge is an asset to society. Knowledge is the constituent of the ideas of the universal validity. These ideas should help man to change his way of perception and his behavior. Knowledge is the stepping stone to understand the competitive world around. Through imparting ideas, man will become resourceful and improve his character and personality. In this direction, Socrates has said that one who had true knowledge could not be other than virtuous. True ideas emerge from the mind and also make the individual resourceful. One who has mastered the ideas can combat and compromise with any situation which occurs in the way of his life. By keeping this aim in the right perspective, education has been attempting to enrich individuals to survive in the competitive world. Now, let us discuss development of skills. Skill development is the process of identifying our skill gaps and developing and honing these skills. It is important because our skills determine our ability to execute our plans with success. In a constantly changing environment, having skills is an essential part of being able to meet the challenges of everyday life. The dramatic changes in global economies have been matched with the transformation in technology, and these are all impacting on education, the workplace and our home life. To cope with the increasing pace and change of modern life, students need new skills. The development of skills is important for an individual as it benefits him. When skills are well developed and practiced through education, it enhances the well-being of a society and promotes positive outlook and healthy behavior. In particular, it enables the individual to translate knowledge, attitude, skills and values into action, behave responsibly, and this leads to healthy living, develop positive attitude towards themselves and others, develop full potential, promote the state of mental well-being as this motivates them and others, promote risk-free behavior, communicate effectively, develop negotiation skills, improve self-perception by building self-confidence, building self-esteem, building self-worth, strengthening teachers-pupil relationship, leads to desirable behavior change, improves discipline in schools, helps learners to improve their performance. Now, let us discuss development of interest. Interest is often thought of a process that contributes to learning and achievement. That is, being interested in a topic is a mental resource that enhances learning, which then leads to better performance and achievement. Three factors contribute to the development of interest: knowledge, positive emotion, and personal value. As individuals learn more about a topic, they become more skilled and knowledgeable. An increase in knowledge can bring about positive effect as individuals feel more competent and skilled through task engagement. In addition, as they spend more time with the activity, they may find personal meaning and relevance in the activity. As important as interest is for performance and achievement, interest is also critically important in its own right. Indeed, one of the primary goals of education is to help students discover their true interests and chart a life course based on interests developed. Interest helps an individual in the following way. Interest is a content-specific concept. It is always related to specific topics, tasks, or activities. Interest is a directive force. It is able to explain students' choice of an area in which they strive for high levels of performance or exhibit intrinsic motivation. Interest plays an important role as an explanatory factor in the subjective theories of teachers and educators. Interest consists of valences attached to the topic or activity. It may be either enduring or short-lived, and either general or specific. Interest is not a personality trait like other motives of behavior, for example, achievement motive. Now, development of appreciation. Being appreciative facilitates and enhances feeling of well-being and life satisfaction, as well as feeling of connection to what we have, to what we experience, and to life itself. Appreciation entails valuing positive or negative. It is dependent on acquired perception that requires initiation and practice training one's sensibilities and learning how to apply apt vocabulary to distinguish aspect of what is being appreciated. Appreciation is a complex act of cognition that is dependent on relevant knowledge of what is appreciated. Full appreciation involves engagement with what is appreciated, and such engagement involves knowledge of various sorts, including emotion that informs knowledge. Appreciation results from an act of judgment, and a responsive judgment, positive or negative, is dependent on an interpretation. Any interpretation is performed, prejudiced, interested, partial, horizontal, and incapable of reaching any straightforwardly neutral or objective account of what is interpreted. Education not only offers children better artistic development but also enhances their appreciation of the art. It also enhances children's self-awareness, self-confidence, and acceptance of others. While arts education supports the development of child's positive attitude towards themselves, it stimulates children's positive social interaction and improves their ability to socialize. It shows that humanities and arts subjects have more impact on students' spiritual, moral, social, and cultural development. Through arts education, children can enhance their non-biased and positive attitude towards the society by acquiring appropriate communication skills. Through appreciation, children can learn to construct meaning and articulate their thoughts when they express in their own words their personal opinions about what they are seeing, feeling, and thinking. This allows students an opportunity to develop an open mind and understand that there is more than just one solution to a problem. Having an appreciation for art also helps us to develop an appreciation for each other and how we are all unique in our own way. Now students, let us conclude. It is concluded that education function is to provide valuable services for maturity and integration of child's personality required for personal freedom. The individual's inner freedom reads self-initiation, action, self-direction, intelligent decision-making, critical learning, acquisition of knowledge for the solution of problems, flexible adaptation of new situations, and self-motivation. Education functions, in fact, helping the individual to be mature and free so as to become fully human. This was all for today. Hope you have understood. Thank you.